Okay, so we're going to look at the Private Access Modifier and how it works and exactly what it does. So, as usual, let's do File, New Project. I'm going to do C# Console App. Say OK. There's our console app. And of course, we're going to write to the console window, and we're going to write OK there. And we're going to do the read line so the console window stays open without us having to hit a key, which is Control F5. So this will allow us to run the console window by hitting the Start button. And there's our console window, and there's the OK we just wrote. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a class, okay? And this class is where we're going to put our private modifier. But at first what we'll do is we're going to put the public modifier just to get the class working and see how it works. So I'm going to call the class names. And in fact, I'm going to call it my names. Okay. So there's our class. And inside of that class, we're going to put a public string. And we're going to put a public string, we'll call it name. We'll say name equals Joe. So this is where we're going to work. Now because this is public, this class, the main, will be able to see this and use it. And then we're going to see what the private class actually does, the private modifier actually does. Okay, so now we have our class, and let's access it from the main. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to say names n equals, and then we'll do new names, new my names. So we're going to do my names n equals new my names. So of course we're taking this class and putting it into this object, and n is the object that we're putting it into. And so now that we have this new object here, we can actually access this public string. And so let's do that. So I'm going to say string in name, and then we'll access the n, which is the object in, and equals m name. So our new variable string equals this name. Okay, and you notice the IntelliSense works, and we can actually see it. And then I'm going to print it out to the console. And we'll give it a run. Okay, so there it is. It's printing it out to the console. So this works. Okay, so we know that works. And now let's make it a private. So we'll make it private, and then we'll see what happens. So right now this string is public. Now we make it private. Okay, and you can see now we can't see it anymore. The IntelliSense is telling us we can't see it anymore. So the purpose of private is to make it so that it's just private to us. It's private to this class. Nobody else can see it or use it. So we can't see this, but this is our own private, I guess you might say, data, and we don't want anybody else to see it. We don't want anybody else to use it, but this function can use it. This function can see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a get to return it. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to put this method, and we're going to call it public string get name, and we're going to do a get. And this get, as you can see, this is public. So now we can see this while not showing the private data. Okay, so we want this, the class, only our class to work with this, and then we control what gets returned to the to a class that's calling this. So now we're going to use this, and we're going to come up here and change this to get name. Okay, so now you can see that we can see this. So we can see the public one, but we do the get, and we return the name while keeping the data and private. Okay, so let's give this a run, and you'll see now it works. We can see it. So pretty much, we put that class into an object, and then we access the public function, which is this one, and the public function accesses the private variable. And then, of course, we have access to it, then we print it. And that's it. That's how a private access modifier works.